Welcome to another session in this Snowflake series. Today we'll have a look at various data protection features that Snowflake offers. Data protection is one of the key activities for any system that is storing data. Snowflake has provided multiple such features which can help us to protect the data. Let's look at these one by one. I've tried to compile all of them together on this one slide, but we'll talk about these in details. The very first is the access controls, right? So Snowflake provides a role-based access control. Using that, we can control the access to any of the objects and provide the right set of privileges to the predefined roles who are going to access these objects. To give an example, let's say there is a table in development and there is a table in production. Let's say a customer table. It is available in your development database as well as the production environment. And you have couple of roles created. One is a data engineer for development and another is the production support engineer. So what we can do is we can give access to the dev database tables to the data engineer, and we can give access to the production support engineer to the production database. So using access control, we need to ensure that we are providing the right level of access to the objects within a database. That is one of the key, or the simplest way I would say, to control or protect your data. So based on the various roles and privileges, we can define a well set of access control mechanism for the project. The second is data encryption. Snowflake by default does data encryption of all the data which is available within Snowflake. So whenever we load some data into Snowflake tables, it gets encrypted. We don't have to do anything separate for this. It also supports uh, the customer keys for encryption. Suppose you have to encrypt your data using your own keys, so that is also supported. It is just that you need some higher editions of the Snowflake. Third is time travel. Time travel is the feature by which you can go back and check for the data before the updates have happened on a certain table, and this can be done up to 90 days if you have an enterprise edition. So this is another level of data protection. So even if someone accidentally deletes something or drops a table, run some update commands on some of the records which they were not supposed to do that. Many times in production support system, this happens, like someone do some manual updates and they forget to add the right where clauses and end up doing a lot of updates to the rows. In such cases, you can use the time travel feature and you can go back and still restore the data before this operation for was performed. So you can uh, do and restore based on before the query was executed or before some timestamp. So if you're using enterprise edition, you get this up to 90 days. If you're using the standard edition, it is just up to 1 day. And that's why it is important to at least have an enterprise edition. So enterprise edition or the business critical edition, these are the two editions which generally the customers have. But if you have a standard edition, then you won't get time travel up to 90 days. Next is the fail safe mechanism. So even after 90 days, right, if you want to restore some data, you can still do that up to 7 days. But this is something, you will have to invest Snowflake for this. You cannot access the data after 90 days. But if that time span falls between 90 days and another 7 days, then you can still ask Snowflake to restore that data. This is possible only for permanent tables. It is not possible for the other types of tables like the transient tables. But this comes with some extra cost, and that is the reason sometimes people go with transient tables. But for all your target tables, your main dimensional facts, go with the permanent table so that you have this additional safety layer with you. Next is MFA for user authentication. Ensure that you enable MFA. This is very, very important, especially for the admin related roles. All the admins should have the MFA enabled. At this point of time, MFA cannot be enforced. The user has to go and do that individually. So ensure that you have the MFA enabled for all the users, but for admin it has to be a mandatory activity. Network policies. Uh, there are network policies to restrict the data access. You can restrict certain IPs. You can block certain IPs. So do all that. If you're within an intranet, right, you can have that kind of mechanism that within your company's VPN you only allow those IPs. So this is an additional again safety net to ensure that someone who does not have access or who does not have the uh, who is not supposed to access the data. So even if they get hold of someone's credentials, they should not be able to access this data. uh, Dynamic data masking is also very very important feature, which is again uh, not available with many other cloud warehouses. Dynamic data masking can be used for handling or hiding your PII data. It acts as an additional abstraction layer to hide the PII data from non-eligible users. So what it would do is, suppose you have some email IDs or some SSN numbers which you don't want all the users to see the actual data. You can use dynamic data masking. So based on the roles, people who are eligible can see the data, and people who are not eligible would only see some masked data. Like if you're masked it by only star 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 star, they'll able to see that. So it's again an important feature. Next in line is the zero copy clone. You can create a copy of your production database into your dev database. You can also apply masking at the same time. What it does, it helps that people who want to play around with the data, they still have a copy of the data. They don't have access to the production data, but they have a copy of production data. This does not consume any additional storage. Uh, that is the way it has been built, but at the same time they can have the exact copy of production data along with some masking policies, so that they can still have a decent amount of data to play around with. But what it does is mainly is it avoids anyone to get access to the production data, so it's an additional data protection layer. And finally, a database replication across the regions or across cloud platform is also possible. You need the business critical edition for that. But this facility is provided by Snowflake, so you can have this enabled. You can replicate your data, and this would give you protection against any cloud, public cloud going down, a particular region not available for a particular amount of time. That time you still have your database up and running on some other account, or in some other region, and you can still continue the work from there. So this is another level of protection which Snowflake has provided, although with some higher editions. So yeah, all these are various data protection of features provided by Snowflake. Some of these are very very important. Some of these are good to have. The most important ones I would suggest is to have a time travel up to 90 days, and that's why Enterprise Edition is important. So that you still have that feature to go back and get restore the previous data, because accidental deletes or updates is a very common human error that generally happens, and if it happens in production system, it's a very costly thing to restore the data. So yeah, like time travel is important. The MFA for admins, yeah, it's most important. You need to ensure to have this. Also dynamic data masking to hide your PI data. So these are all some of the very important data protection features. Do ensure you go ahead and explore all of this and see what really fits well in your ecosystem, and apply this accordingly. And whatever are the good to have features, you can always plan to have them in future, if not immediately. But it's not just setting up this protection features and all. The more important part is to following these practices religiously and regularly. There should be an audit mechanism, or a continuous audit should happen, maybe on monthly basis or quarterly basis, to go back and review these policies, go back and check whether all these are being followed. So these are all very important as part of overall data protection strategy. So if you're working as an architect and you have laid down this strategy, ensure that you also have this mechanism to audit these or to review these setup along with the project managers for that project. This overall data protection is a very important activity for any project, and with in today's world where people are moving to cloud, a lot of emphasis is on the overall data security and data protection. So please ensure that you have this setup as well as you have a review mechanism for this.